Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Bodily fluids: spit, sweat, semen, urine, scat, and vomit.
Ooh, when I read the vomit part, I was like, that's a little bit rough for me.
Now, I do want to say, this was in my vanilla world. I think I've had, let's see, spit, sweat, semen. I don't know that I've had semen. I've been spit on, I've been sweat on, I've been pissed on, I've been puked on.
Yeah, but not in a sexual nature.
Definitely not in a sexual nature. That was
You're here walking
in
through
the
this.
EMS field. But again, that's why I said this was in my vanilla life prior to BDSM and all of this. But yeah, in working as an EMT, you get all these bodily fluids on you.
There are terms. They're all philia terms. I don't necessarily know that we need to say them all.
But there's no way we're going to be able to pronounce some of them. Somnophilia.
That sounds right.
Is the attraction to vomit, their own or someone else's. The first thing that comes to mind here is giving a blowjob and gagging. I have seen videos where women have vomited while giving blowjobs, and it doesn't faze them. They're right back on it again, so that could be part of that.
Clismophilia. Clismophilia.
That looks right.
Sexual arousal by enemas.
Enemas.
I know that word. I know what it is.
Yep.
And that would involve the process of elimination as well,
Right.
not just getting the enema, but
Getting rid of everything in
Yep.
there. Yep. I don't care anything about feeling that. Lactophilia.
Did you ever do an enema?
I
had surgery. I had
I
surgery,
have not had an enema.
I had to do the whole thing for surgery.
I have not had to have an enema, and I'm very happy for that. I have a hard enough time when I go to the bathroom anyway. I don't usually need help, and that I honestly believe that would probably kill me right there.
This one's a big one.
Yeah, the lactophilia is arousal from watching a woman breastfeed or lactate in a nursing role play. Yes, I will watch that all day. Not a problem. Even if you're not lactating, I will still look.
Do you want to suck on it when the milk is
I kind of do.
You've never done that?
I've never done that.
But you had kids.
I did. But
and it just never.
The vanilla people I was with would not let me nowhere near it. But I am curious. I want to know
if
what
you're pregnant out there.
I do. I am interested. What does breast milk taste like? I do kind of want to know.
Please don't send us any.
Yeah, no, don't send it in the mail, because that's kind of not the point that I want. I want to actually physically remove it myself. But
yes.
that is something that I have always thought.
And we're totally doing what we do here. We're not making light of it. If this is your kink and your fetish,
Absolutely,
we're not yucking it at all.
Oh, hell no. Definitely not yucking it.
On any of this, what we're doing is we're just bringing it to
light.
Light.
Maybe these are terms that other people,
Had
setting off somewhere thinking there's something wrong with me because I want to suck on a woman who's lactating. And I do. I've always had that. I've always thought that. But, and again, there was times I thought I was really screwed up in the head. So by finding the BDSM world and seeing all this and knowing that I'm not alone in a lot of what at the time I thought were weird and fucked up things that I wanted to do.
Right.
So by no means, if any of this is your thing, it may not be ours, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You keep doing you, as long as you're happy, not hurting yourself or anybody else. Do your thing, and we're just trying to bring light and to inform people about all the. I mean, and again, this isn't even all of them. This is a very very small list
Very small
of
list. It
BDSM.
was just the things that came up either in conversations we had or
Correct.
bounced from, hey, we looked up one thing and that led us
That
into
led us
two or
into,
three more
yeah.
things that I didn't even know existed.
Right.
So yeah,
All right. Moving on to Europhilia.
mm-hmm.
Was you going to do that one?
Water sports.
Water sports, sexual arousal from urine, either giving or receiving.
I knew somebody
Okay.
who had been military and had been in Iraq and Afghanistan, I think. And they had this, they said prior to that, they really didn't, but this created this thing where urine was
Did they want to be urinated
not
on?
not a what
They
that's
wanted
called
to
a golden shower.
golden
I even
shower.
heard that when I was a vanilla
Yeah, golden
person.
shower.
No, they wanted to see it. They wanted
Just
it
wanted to see
poured
it.
into a glass. They didn't want to drink it or anything, but it was the urinating into a glass
Right.
and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I have, and again, you reach back into the very, very dark corner of my brain back here. I wouldn't mind urinating on somebody. I have seen videos of it where the submissives are used as urinals. They hold it in their mouth. It goes all over their face. I'm kind of into that. You
Okay.
don't even know that.
Right.
That's something you did not know about me, but there is a portion of me that says I would like to do that.
Now, let's get real, Master Nick, who I love with
Okay.
all my heart. You don't even pee in front of me.
And that's the problem. I have a hard time peeing if anybody's around. So,
right. It
and again,
immediately dries up when anybody's around.
I could be if I'm in a public bathroom and I'm needing to pee and I'm doing the potty dance and I'm bouncing and trying to get him pulled out. And if somebody walks in, instantly shuts down. I no longer need to pee. I will sit there. I will stand there until they leave for me to pee.
Well,
So,
you do realize that a person has
I
to
know
be
that,
involved.
which is why people don't know that part about me. But it is a fascination of mine that I would be willing to explore if I could.
When you read things in stories too, right? Okay. So things that come across in either porn or porn related stories.
Yep.
Those kind of things draw you in, right?
Yes.
There's one that, gosh, I loved the idea of it. And it was a pacifier, like using your penis as a pacifier at night. Like keep it in your mouth. Don't let it come out. I want you to sleep with it in. Obviously, when I fall asleep, if it comes out, but when you wake up, make sure you put. And there's this whole control kind of humiliation, kind of age play thing.
Right.
That it was very erotic in this story. Okay. So you can read things and think about things and get very turned on.
Yep.
And sometimes in real life, you're like, nope, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But in other times, it may be something that you want to do.
Exactly. What kind of smutty shit are you reading over there?
You know what kind of smutty shit I read. I wite it just as smutty as the reading it.
You do. You do a damn good writing too. All right. Take the next one.
We're going to go to breath play.
Okay.
So restricting one's access to oxygen to heighten their pleasure. And that can be done in a number of ways. One of the things is when you face fuck somebody where you're holding them, and whether you're a female on top or smothering or a male literally at the back of the throat holding you on, that is a breath play.
Right. Especially like if I'm gagging you with my dick and then holding your nose at the same time, that is definitely a breath play.
you don't even have to
You don't
hold the
have to,
note,
but
but
now I'm putting 2 and 2 together here of going, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I see where this is going."
Corsets are another way. There have
Okay.
been people that their partner will tie them into a corset very, very tight where
Right.
you can't get full breaths.
Right.
And you have to watch it very closely. You have
Yes.
to make sure. Hands, implements, but
Mhm.
hands, didn't we? Do you remember that uh, show we saw? We're at the end of the very heavy impact.
Mhm.
Do you remember that?
During aftercare.
During in
Yep,
aftercare,
yep.
yes.
They put on one hell of a show. You had the male dominant and the female submissive,
He
and
was
there was
big and she was little.
there yeah, so that was probably another kink, fetish of theirs. But yeah, he was really large, and he was wailing that flogger, and it was a tremendous show. And then afterwards, he sat in a chair, she kneeled beside him, and he would rub her hair and rub her body, and was caressing her and was talking to her, and reached up with his hand and choked her out. And she, it didn't take long at all. She would pass out. He would hold her. She would come back to. He would continue caressing her, talking to her, and then he would do it again. He'd done it multiple times.
It was very exciting to
It
watch.
was.
It's walking a line of danger in a more
Oh yeah.
dangerous manner.
Yeah.
And when you see that, there's something primal in you
Hmm.
that at least like my submissive side goes, ooh.
Right.
And then you flip it and you know it's dangerous. So
Oh yeah.
you're walking a
You
line.
are.
I think sometimes more than sometimes, BDSM walks a line that gives you that sense of
Hmm.
danger, which is why we do some of these
Right.
things.
I mean, and again, I don't really know of anything in BDSM that is 100% safe.
Right.
Everything has its risk, and therefore it's why they talk about risk assessments. You need to know your risk
Risk
profile,
aware. Mm-hmm.
and make sure you're understanding to anything that could go wrong. But yes, I mean, basically everything in BDSM comes with some sort of risk, and some are more severe than others. But there is a risk pretty much to anything and everything you do. Moving into the breeding fetish, and this is an attraction to the concept of either getting pregnant or getting another person pregnant. Risk of permanent consequences is the hot part in this fetish.
Sometimes it's about a fantasy of raising a child or creating something together.
Yep. You've got the animalistic nature of using uterus as nature intended.
Power play, degradation, and objectification.
Ob-
Man, my mouth.
Objectification.
Thank you.
You
You can
are
just say that.
welcome.
I am having a hard time with
We
that word.
both are kind of having a hard time with
Well,
words
these
today.
are a lot of words that we don't use in normal
Correct.
conversation,
I don't go
and
around
they
saying,
have a lot of syllables.
yeah, I don't just go around saying objectification all the time. You
I
see how
know
smooth
it
that
was
rolled off?
so smooth, Master Nick.
I
This
know
is
it.
why we partner up so well.
Yep.
So, breeding fetishes to me, and I'm not doing it, but I could see the whole side of primal play,
Hmm.
right? You are chasing down you could
Right.
get pregnant. And I could see a whole scene in my head
Right.
built around this, but there are permanent
Right.
consequences
Exactly.
like, getting
And
pregnant
yep.
and having a child.
Yep. And that would be, I mean, again, it would be a tough one for me to participate in on that one, because that's at least 18 years that you're dedicated to something.
Yes.
So that is
And
a
you've
huge
raised
commitment.
yours
I've raised mine,
and you have
and
another one.
now I'm raising another one. Yep. But yeah,
But you can
that's
see it, right? You
right.
can see how it would really go into like a primal prey
It could, and
version
the
of it.
age play doesn't have to be primal prey. I know there
The
is
age play,
the
breeding play,
breeding play. Yeah. What did I say?
age play,
Oh, my bad. I skipped it. Yes, the breeding
fetish.
fetish Doesn't necessarily have to be primal prey.
No, it
It
doesn't.
can be. I could see it more for that, but there is. I mean, I do know couples out there that do the BBC breeding.
Okay.
Um, I've heard some of that. Where they.
Explain that, what that stands for.
Well, it's so BBC is big black cock,
Uh-huh.
and then it's normally a white couple, male female couple, and most of them that I've seen, it's been more of the male's idea of bringing the BBC in. Sometimes the female wants it as well. But then that also, some of that ties into the breeding fetish,
Okay.
where the white couple may get bred by a black guy. And, that is huge. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of videos,
Okay.
relating to that out there as well. So
Okay.
that falls under the breeding fetish. I'm going to let you take the next one.
All right,
W-
let's do this
We're going to
thing.
butcher this one.
Okay, it is agal. No, it's agalmatophilia is a sexual attraction to statues, mannequins, and now they've added dolls as a part of this
Okay.
because sex dolls are widely
Oh, yeah.
available.
Oh, yeah.
They're real, ultra realistic. So this is an object sexuality which involves deep emotions and or romantic attachments to inanimate objects. So it was something that was even back the statues that were created back in Greek,
Hmm.
though this is where the word came from
Okay.
and where this attraction to statues, and then it's developed and added into mannequins, and you've seen
Right.
that, like you've I've seen it
Hmm.
on like different
Right.
programs. um
I've known a few people to have mannequins that they wanted. I never knew at the time why or what it was for, and it may or may not be related to this, but yeah, they had mannequins, and then like I said with dolls, I mean dolls have come a long way over the last several years. They can make them absolutely 100% realistic looking, realistic feeling. Um, I can see it more to a doll, especially now. I mean, again, they are ultra realistic. But okay, that is something that
I've read some I've read some pornographic material that was a big turn on
right.
about that. And then so in that there's somnophilia.
Okay.
So somnophilia is arousal from a person who is asleep or unconscious. And
Yeah.
it's AKA sleeping beauty syndrome. And then this is like an exchange of power. Like you have to agree to all this when the person is
Right.
awake. But that would be the same thing with the doll. Like if I took
Yep.
sleeping medication on a regular basis and it put me out, and this was something you enjoyed, just climb on.
Right.
And then me knowing when I wake up in the morning, and I've
Mhm.
read some porn where I have been
Wow.
cummed on and it's coming out of me, then I know
Right.
that I've been used.
Right.
So
So what was that term?
it's somnophilia.
So another crazy ass story of somebody else I dated for a while
What?
prior to
I
us.
am just I'm talking to our listeners and viewers. These are stories I've not heard
You have
before.
not heard because again, I didn't think anything of it, but prior to us meeting, that was what she wanted. She had went on Craigslist and other things and had posted and was trying to find somebody. She wanted to take some cough syrup or something to get passed out and wanted somebody to come into her house and use her. And of course, first thing you're letting strangers in your damn home do this. And she was like, well, I never really found nobody that I wanted to, to do it with, but that was one of her fantasies. And I just thought how crazy that was that you would want a stranger coming in and
I
doing that.
wouldn't want a stranger.
No, but I bet you that was tied. She had
Yes,
this
right.
that you
Absolutely.
said.
Because, and obviously, there was a lawsuit recently. I say recently, but it's in a few years, I'm not sure
Okay.
exact time, where there was a husband drugging a wife
Mm,
and getting money from people to come and have sex with her while
right.
she
While
was
she was
out.
out.
So there's a very negative side of this that you have to
Yeah,
be aware of,
exactly.
because there's so much in any of the things, even vanilla sex can be
Hmm.
used in a bad way.
Yes.
So I'm not I'm not advocating for any of that. I'm just saying there's also the
Right. If
things
it's
that
done,
turns on between two
if
consenting
it's
is,
done between consenting adults
if
and
I
the
agree to this and I
yes.
set the parameters beforehand,
Right.
because I've read books and the books it was hot in
Right.
my mind as I'm reading this. I don't read, the romance where
Prince
Prince
Charming
Charming comes in and
riding
saves
a
the
white
day,
horse.
and you guys get married and live happily ever
Right.
after, never having sex, because of course they're not having sex until the magical baby pops out. Like
Right.
I'm reading the stuff that, somebody was turned into a doll
Right.
and they were alive inside the doll and being used
Right.
and couldn't talk, couldn't. I'm like,
Yep.
whoo.
So I could see a lot of that. And there is, I have heard people saying they like being woken up to, you know, being
Oh,
fucked or being
yes.
eat on or any of that stuff.
I
So
would be happy being woken up to being eat on at any point.
me too, just so you know, for when you get to feeling better.
Feeling better when my
Yep.
body is back to normal.
All right, moving on. Age play, which is role playing, where partners act as if they are different ages than what they actually are. You have a parent and a child is common. Daddy's girl, and there's along with that, there's the littles.
Mhm.
The littles enjoy just being a little, being a child, having a
There's different
pacifier.
age
There's different
grades
age,
too.
right? But
Yes.
going anywhere from having a pacifier to coloring books to blankets to stuffed animals.
Right.
And then there is also dynamics like that. There is daddy and little girl dynamics that work very similar to a dominant submissive
Yes.
relationship, but it is a daddy and little girl.
And in the age play, I can see that,
Hmm.
because there's this desire when you have somebody who's a caregiver, like,
Right.
in our DS dynamic, that I call you daddy during specific
Hmm.
sexual acts that make me feel
Right.
like you're, I don't know, have that kind of power over me.
Right.
So it's not an all the time thing, but it
No, it
comes
isn't all the
up.
time, but it
Now
does.
there's dynamics built around it, and
Hmm.
it's age play. And we've talked about it on different
Oh yeah.
episodes, but we actually, the first time we went to an event, BDSM slosh and
Way
munch,
back when. Yep.
way back when, it was a
There was a lot of
lot of
littles. There was
littles.
a
It
lot of
was
littles.
really fun
Yep.
that night too, because they have this like carefree
Hmm.
kind of mindset, especially when they're in their little space, when their
Right.
mind is going there. There's this whole feeling of lightness and friendliness
Yep.
and playfulness
That was the
that,
word I was looking for. Playfulness. Yep.
yeah. So, but there's an additional, which is, it's, this one's hard too. Autonepophilia. So
Okay.
it's autonepophilia,
Okay.
and it is sexual pleasure derived from dressing up as or acting like a baby.
Okay.
Often there is a mommy or daddy figure. It might involve nursing, changing a diaper, engaging in other infantile behaviors like a baby bottle.
Right.
And a lot of times when you see this, it's a man. Have you seen it
There.
or read it or seen
Yep.
stories about it where it's a man
Yep.
wanting to be in a diaper or
Yep.
whatever? And
At
then,
one time, my ex account, and again, we have our marketing manager who does all of our social media posts and stuff. We'll film it, send it to Jess, and she'll get everything ready. So I don't know what she searched or what she done, but there at one time on my ex account, it was people in diapers. And when it started pulling up, and it took me a minute, it's like, what's going on here? What's this? And so
Right.
I've done a little bit of research then just to
Yeah.
understand
What it was.
what it was, why the people wearing diapers were now showing up in my X account feed. And
There's
it
not
tied
a
into a lot of this.
it's not a sexual attraction to an infant.
Correct.
It is a sexual it's the desire to
To be
be
the
an
infant.
infant or to
Right.
be the parent
Right.
to an adult that needs these things. I
Right.
mean, it's a again, we're talking about all these things because they come up, they're
Yep.
part of the world. Some are things we agree with, we don't agree with, but
Yep.
we're not judging other people for
Absolutely
their
not.
not when we're engaged in the things we get engaged in.
Exactly.
I mean, we have no but it came up when we started looking at age
Yep.
play, and so that's why we brought it up,
Yep.
and I could see that it would be nice, I'm not gonna lie, for a another story I read. I read some really
What do you got?
crazy stories, but again, there's for me, that would be really nice in terms of letting go of all your adult crap.
Hmm.
You would be focused on being an infant, a baby being taken care of 100%. There
Yep.
is no and it's not that I have this burning desire to do it, but I can understand
Right. I can
why.
totally relate to why they want to do it. Exactly.
Because it just with all the struggles, with all the stuff, it would be just really nice
Yep.
to and in that environment, you are shutting down completely. You're in a crib or in a playpen or you're
Right.
completely dependent. You can cry, you can
Yep.
there's just things about it that
Oh yeah. And again, I can totally relate to the mindset of it. It was it makes sense.
you would not enjoy it. If
I would
I'm there
no.
crying,
No, I would
you're
not
going to
enjoy it.
not enjoy
I
it.
would definitely would not enjoy it, but I can relate. I can understand, and I am grateful that there are those people that want to um, entertain that
They have
and
both sides of it,
cooperate in
right?
that and have the side of the caregiving side of it.
Yes.
That is definitely something. No, I'm not interested in, but
Right.
I have a high appreciation and gratitude towards the people that do want to do it. And I mean, again, because there's people that want it and there's people that want to do it, and hopefully they can find one another and live out their fantasies and fetishes and kinks and live a very happy life.
Well, and that's again, the sadists and masochists. It's
Right.
the same thing. You have to have one
Yep.
to support the other. And I'm
Correct.
so glad we live in a world where people do
Yep.
find their partners in their lifestyle
Right.
needs because otherwise that would suck.
Right. Moving on to
You know this one.
probably a more common one that most people know that has been around for a very long time, cuckolding. And that is a BDSM and power play. One person watches their partner have sex with someone else or listens to stories or watches videos after the fact. Often, sexual humiliation may be a part. The partner prefers someone over them or is turned on more with a different partner being cheated on or etc.
Yeah, so you sometimes that could also be the fact that your partner picks up somebody else.
Right.
And I mean, there's a
There is
whole
a
nother
so the
aspect
right.
to it.
And cuckolding and hot wifing are similar.
Okay.
But yes, the cuckolding is usually more of the humiliation factor.
Okay.
Um,
Tell me how that would work. Like explain what
so
a
like
human.
like cuckolding.
Uh-huh.
The ones that I've seen, the ones that I've read, the ones that I've heard of, you've got the man and a woman. All the ones I've seen, the woman is the one that is cuckolding their husband or boyfriend or fiance, whatever. But while having sex, the female looks over to her male partner and talks about how much bigger this person is or how much she's enjoying this more and kind of, humiliating their partner, because you can't do this or you don't know how to do this or you're not big enough to do this and that kind of thing. That's more of the cuckolding,
Right.
which makes it a little bit different, makes the difference of cuckolding or hot wifing.
Right.
So,
Okay.
little fun
S-
fact.
uh, So we talk about degradation and humiliation, and we've talked about it in different episodes
Mhm.
where it's just come up naturally. So I didn't include that in here, but we've come up on a couple of
Right,
times
the hot
just
wifing,
because,
yep.
humiliation also leads into an area of objectification.
Objectification.
Gosh, bless my mouth.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you've got
Right.
it because I cannot get my brain around that word. And
Mhm.
I'm really good with English, but that word
That
is
word,
just tripping me up.
it is.
So I knew back in the day when I was mainly just online, exploring, that there were men that were interested in being objects. They wanted
Mhm.
to be placed in a position, used as my footrest. There's a whole mental thing in there
Right.
about being ignored
Okay.
and used. So there's also being used for sexual
Mhm.
as a object. Yeah,
Objectification.
I'm just going to point to you
Just point to me how
and you'll just say that word for me.
objectification.
I don't know why I can't. But where you take somebody and all they are is a sexual organ,
Mhm.
you take away all of their identity. They don't get to talk, move, whatever.
Right.
You wrap them up, you cover them up. Wouldn't that be like a glory hole thing too?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really tied to a glory hole. I mean, because a glory hole is normally
Oh, I
a
got it.
wanting participant
On the outside.
on the outside with a wanting participant on the inside that
Yeah, but
wants
they
to.
want to participate. They just need to be covered and not. So that's why my brain went to that,
Right.
which is a little bit different. But where they're used
Mhm.
as you want to use them, but ignored for
For
everything
everything
else.
else. Right.
And it's a big one was the footstool, a table,
Mhm.
don't move, my drink better not spill type of
Right.
thing. An ashtray is another one.
Yep. Yep. And we've that's actually on our list here
Yep.
once we get dinner to it.
Go
Well,
ahead.
all right. The next
Talk
one.
about it.
Oh, okay. Let's just go ahead and move on into cigar play and ash play.
Yes.
So you got the aroma, the taste, and the aesthetic of cigars. Holding a lit cigar closest to the skin for sensation and for the ash.
Ashing. You cannot start over again when you're going to leave all my stuff in there. So here we go, sir.
You just blew that edit up. All right. Cigar service is very formal preparing, treatment, and serving of cigars, which we also learned is popular in the leather community. And looking back on the Indiana Kink and Leather weekend that we was on, they did have a cigar night.
Right.
We did not attend that because smoke tends to bother your allergies and mess things up. So we did not attend that. But now it makes sense.
Yes, and it's a matter of serving it to your
Right.
doms. So you kneel in front of them, you're the one prepping it. They get to inspect it, say yay or nay.
Right.
It ties in with a whiskey and cigar
Mm-hmm.
theme. So you'll see that too where you're preparing the drink. The
Right.
submissive is taking care of everything, bringing it to the dom.
Right. And then you've also got the play with smoke or with heat or with the ash, eating the ash, with in your mouth.
They did a event at the club
Mm-hmm.
where they had a cigar night
Yes,
and
they
did
did.
the ashing. Some of it is about putting the cigar really close to the skin so that you feel the heat, that
Yep.
sensation play. You've got the aroma of it, like blowing smoke in the face,
Yep.
where you're taking away some breath play, I guess, would be involved in that.
Right.
I imagine there would be situations where you would blow it into your submissive. I'm just making this up as I go because
Right.
I don't know, but blowing it into your submissive's mouth, keep it in there, hold it until I
Mm-hmm.
tell you to let it go. That kind of a control thing. Ash was the other
Yep.
part
Just
of
using
that.
it as a table or an ashtray. Yep.
Yes, and putting it in people's mouths. So there's some of it where I've actually seen this before I even knew about this, where licking an ashtray is
Mm-hmm.
showing your submissive to somebody, like they ask you and you do it.
Right.
But then the direct ashing onto the tongue,
Right.
there's a whole safety process and procedure. Make sure that you're researching and look. Don't
Yes.
just go out there and say, "Hey, put your cigar ash in my mouth,"
Yeah.
because
No.
it's not safe.
Everything on this list, research, research, research
Find
before
somebody who
exploring.
is involved in it. Talk to them.
Experienced with it, yes.
Right, because all of these things could be very
Yep.
dangerous.
All of
So,
them come with risk.
and then we talked a little bit about the say the word, Master Nick.
Objectification.
You. I think we've covered latex was the other
Yep.
one,
It
and
takes.
it's a very popular like
It is.
latex.
Yes. And it's not only just in clothing and stuff. I mean, I think when it started, it was the latex clothing. But one dungeon we was at, it was really cool. They had like this big rectangle that opened in half like a clamshell. It did have a solid framework around it, but it had latex attached to it,
It collapsed.
and a person would get into it. They would fold it up on them and then hook a vacuum cleaner to it to suck all the air out, and all you could see was a latex body. And then they would rub, they would tickle. The sensations really seem to be heightened while in latex. You just
Yes.
a slight little tap or a touch, they could almost like feel it all over their body.
It was
Um,
really
it
interesting to
was
watch
that was
because
very
it's
interesting.
something I'm claustrophobic and
Hmm.
that would really push it would have to be a private session because that would push the boundaries of
Correct.
everything I'm comfortable with because I
Correct.
am claustrophobic.
Correct. Now they was completely sealed up, but they had like a tube where
Straw,
they
like,
could
is what I
breathe.
thought of, but
Yep.
like a tube.
It
Yeah,
was a
that makes
tube
more
where they
sense.
could breathe. But that was the only.
Everything else. And I
Everything else was
imagine
covered.
their breathing would be impacted by
Yeah,
the
you couldn't
vacuum. You can't
can
fully
expand, right?
expand. Exactly.
Right. Yep. So there you have it. There is a very, very, very short list of kinks and
It was
fetishes.
long to us, sir.
It,
It was
it, it
long to
made a
us
it
because
made a really
there's
good
a
episode.
lot of
Oh
words.
yeah. And then there is still so much more out there. Um, and yes, it has been said two or three times through this. We want to make sure and reiterate it again. Just because we're not interested in something does not mean you should be ashamed to be.
Right?
Um, that's the good thing about BDSM. You get to explore what you enjoy. You get to explore your fantasies, your wants, your needs, with no judgment.
Yes.
And in this episode, we've talked about a lot of kinks. We've talked about a lot of fetishes, some things we like, some things we didn't like. But by no means are we judging anybody who wants to participate in these.
No. There's
And
large
as, oh,
communities
yes.
of
And as a matter of fact, just because there is some things on here that I'm not interested in, I would still love to see.
right,
I may not want to do it or have it done to me,
right,
but everything on this list, if we knew somebody that done one of everything here, I would want to watch it. I would want to see it because I want to experience other people's kinks and then see the enjoyment that they get
they
out
get
of.
from it because that's such a big thing. Even if I'm not enjoying it, if somebody else is getting pleasure from it,
Right.
to me, that's
That's pleasure to me.
yes,
And that's one reason why I love being a dom and doing the educating and the, demonstrating on people, especially when I'm doing something that they enjoy. I get so much pleasure. I get so much out of it by them enjoying it. So although if I'm not participating in it, seeing somebody else get enjoyment out of their kink, out of their fetish brings huge joy to me.
right.
So again, by no means are we kink shaming.
No,
We 100% disagree
we
with
just
anybody that
really
kink
wanted
shames.
people to
Want to
get it
shed light on some
right.
stuff.
And we'll probably end up with another one or two episodes of this in
Oh
the
yeah,
future. This was just, we were looking at one thing, which led to two other things, which is how it broadened.
yep,
And, but we by no means, we haven't
Oh, yeah.
even scratched the surface.
Right.
So if you're going, why did they talk about these things? Because we looked at one thing, which brought us to two others.
And, it enlightens us.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit more experience by
Oh, yes.
researching,
I
by
learned
reading
about
this.
Master Nick.
We learned, yeah, you learned a little bit more about me.
I did.
But the most important thing, again, is we know there is people out there, whether they listen to us, whether they don't. Maybe they've got a friend. I don't know. But there is somebody out there with one of these kinks or one of these fetishes that is scared to talk about it, that is scared to explore it because they feel they're the only person in the world that has this. And I know this because I was one of those people at one time.
Right.
I was scared to talk about my kinks and I was scared to talk about my fetishes because everybody I was around was, in my eyes, normal.
Right.
And by finding BDSM, by you finding me, by us getting together and exploring BDSM, um, normal no longer exists in my world because everybody has a kink, everybody has a fantasy, and I want everybody to be able to experience it.
Yes.
And either you enjoy it or you don't, but you at least experience it and you know what it's like and you're no longer curious.
Right.
And we want to expand not only our knowledge in BDSM, but you as our listeners, we want to expand yours as well.
Right. I'm right there. I agree 100%.
Yep.
So I'm glad you're joining us on this journey.
Yep. And with that, until next time, we will see you back next weekend with possibly
Yes.
events and
Information about
interviews from Kinktasia.
that is the hope.
You all stay safe. Have a great week. Make sure and come back next week for plenty more to come.
Thank you for joining us. Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.